Presenting Channeling Erik's Hour of Enlightenment.
Hello, my love. Hello, my love. I truly love all of you, and I'm so glad you're joining us now. I mean, I'm not BSing, okay? I really, truly love you guys. And I want to start out by saying I would like you guys to do two things for me. First, send out prayers to Abby Dagnese, who's getting her board certification test, and maybe she's doing it now, maybe she's tomorrow, I can't remember. Please send her prayers because she's awesome.
Oh, good luck, Abby.
Yeah, she's been worried about this and stressing over it. So y'all send her good luck vibes. And also for Michelle Gray, she's under the weather. Please send her some healing energy. I've been under the weather too, me and my husband and I, and me. I can't remember. Mm-hmm. I don't want to overthink the grammar. But, yeah, so y'all, healing energy for Michelle.
Thank you.
But anyway, I love you, Michelle. I love you, Erik.
I love you too, Elisa. And Erik says, I love you, Mom. He's like, mwah.
Oh, okay. So, look, you know, for some reason, it seems like there's not that many earth angels in the world, okay? Not many, like 8,143 or 50, I can't remember, but very few. Mm-hmm. We probably need more. But for some reason, so many of them are nudged to Atlantic Scalar. I think their guardian angels are pushing them because usually these earth angels are part of, you know, are involved in a big angelic project of some sort. And, you know, maybe that guardian angel overseeing that project is like, come on, get to Erik, get to Elisa. You know, you need to be back on the course to help humanity. So anyway, I guess what I'm saying is that this whole show is going to be in honor of all you earth angels. And if you think you are an earth angel, probably are, then, you know, this radio show is for you. Now, I will say that some of the typical characteristics, not always, but some of the characteristics of earth angels is that they very often have a lot of trauma, hardship in their lives. Not always, but financial struggles, abundance of all sorts of struggles, abundance of health, love, everything. That's number one. And it's because, you know, guess what? I mean, they come into this incarnation with a higher than normal, not normal, I don't want to say normal, average vibrational frequency so that they can withstand it all because they need to go through that hardship to best serve humanity. So they come in with a higher vibration so they can survive what they put in their plate incarnation-wise. And and also they often feel kind of like they don't belong, like a bit lonely. Even if they're surrounded by, you know, friends and family and people who love them, they still feel that sort of empty loneliness. And I know that after it died, I read some before they memorialized his Facebook thing. There were comments, messages, you know, about how he felt so lonely. And I know now that he was an earth angel. He did suffer, and
yeah,
you know, and you know, earth angels, by the way, often tend to run in families. So I understand that I am one too, and that's why I have been through so much shit. And that is why, you know, sometimes I do feel kind of lonely and shy and just out of sorts. I mean, it's just a lot of people think, oh, you're so gregarious and happy, Lisa. But there is a side to me that is feels extremely lonely and out of sorts and like I don't belong. And starseeds have the same feeling, too. People that are not used to incarnating on Earth very often. Yeah. Pleiadians, Arcturians, people from Sirius. Are you serious? They all also feel like they don't really belong. So, Erik, first of all, can we start before we take calls? Tell us about Earth Angels.
Yeah, Erik just said, he said, Mom, another thing is, too, is that starseeds and Earth Angels are similar. They're very similar. They have a lot of similar qualities to them. But when you're talking about the vibrational, like about Earth Angels coming in with a higher vibration, he says that's true. He also says that part of the reason why that happens is because So the earth angel comes in with a higher vibrational frequency, and he says, now see this. He goes, each one of you listening, he's like, and you know who you are, the earth angels. He says, you stood before council. He says, your council is made up of usually more than one guardian angel. Has a few guardian angels. He says most earth angels do have more than one guardian angel. And he says, in your guides, and with a higher vibration, he says, you guys are like standing there saying, I can do this. Put more on my plate. I can do this. Put all of this stuff on my plate. I'm going to go in there. I'm going to make a difference, and this is what I'm going to do. And he says, and getting onto earth, he says, part of the reason why he came on with a higher vibrational frequency is one part because it's balance. He says, and we all know that nothing goes without the balance of yin and yang, light and dark, left and right, all of that sort of thing. So he says that's one part of it. The other part is, of course, he says having that higher vibrational frequency is necessary because there are so many things that are taken on by the earth angel. He goes, whether that's something that you are born into with your family, but he says one of the hardest things for an earth angel tends to be the energies of other people and of the circumstances. And so it allows there to be more room for optimism. There allows to be more room to handle some of these experiences. He goes, how many earth angels have said, like, for a reason, because I'm still here and look at all I've been through. He also says
because a lot of people who have gone through what earth angels have gone through would die either by their own hands or something else, or just be have so much horror to their energy that they would succumb to some natural cause early for the time. Yeah.
He also says, he says it's the frequency is actually very close to source.
Wow.
He says, so think of it as your higher self or the greater part of your soul. He says your fragment pieces that they split off to go into this physical incarnation, to have that experience and focus in the physical, comes from a very close part. And he says, so the percentage of population of earth angel frequency helps balance the rest of the population. So he says, when he was talking about yin and yang. The other thing is, too, is he says it's really cool if you look at an earth angel, you can often see it in their eyes. So he says, there's like a look in an earth angel's eyes. And Erik is showing me.
What the fuck am I doing here? That's the look. It's a deer in the headlights look is what it is, man. I'm kidding.
Yeah, I've had that a few times. When we were talking tonight, Erik was giving me a little bit here and there, and he was talking to me, and I'm like, oh, okay, I am an earth angel. I know that I am.
Sure you
I said, there's no way that I'm not an earth angel with everything that I've been through in this lifetime. And he's like, yeah. And he goes, and that's so common for so many of us. But so balance, what else, Erik? Oh, yeah, he says, the other thing is, too, is he says, yes, earth angels do have a mission, and often a mission that is very much connected to earth, the collective, to humanity, to growth, to ascension, to consciousness. But he also says that earth angel, because we come in with this higher frequency to balance, he says, we are offering part of our mission just by being here, just by existing. He says
just by putting it, bringing in a higher vibrational frequency to the collective energy.
Yep. He says, so just you sitting right there watching TV. He says, you are doing something for the earth. You are on your mission.
Earth angels out there, I don't want to think, oh my God, I'm not doing something. What am I supposed to do? Oh shit, I'm failing. Don't do that. Because
he said, and
Mom, that's the point. May be enough. Yeah.
That's exactly it. He goes, that's the point, because he says, you see, there's like this, he says there's this little piece where earth angels are like, okay, I know there's something that I'm here to do. I know I've got something here to do. I've been through all this stuff. What is my mission? Like, I'm not doing it. And there's this sense of I'm falling behind. Like, I should be doing this, or I'm at this age and I'm not doing it yet. Like, what's going on? And he says, he's saying this to make sure we understand that our existence is successful. We are successful by being here, by existing, by holding our own energy and going through each day. Just our presence is being here. It is important. So he says, so why? If you feel that you're not. What's that?
Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, he just said like take that and understand that that's valuable in itself.
Okay. So why? I mean, of course, we have to come in with such a high frequency in order to endure the hardship. Why hardship? Why do earth angels have to suffer so much?
Well, we have to suffer, but he says it's what happens. It's what ends up happening. So he says, like, of course, there are lessons. So he says, like, there are lessons here for us to understand success. And he says success through something different other than, say, the normal. And when he said that, he says, think about how success by many people is seen through monetary, or like, I go to school, I get this job, I do this, and I come out with millions of dollars and I'm successful. He says, well, many earth angels are coming into a family where there have been, say, generations of trauma or generations of lack. And he says, and the earth angels coming in to show difference in that success comes from authenticity. So success comes from a space of authenticity, which is often very heart-based. Because why, he says? Because many earth angels are also extremely empathic as well. Yeah. And so he says that's when it come in, is to be able to work through that contrast and come into this incarnation and create success out of their natural authenticity. And he says, and that can be really hard because coming in with a lot of other people around them that has a lower frequency can really start to drag us down. God.
Oh.
So,
yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead. You got a lot more.
Go ahead.
More things to say than I do, Eric. Go ahead. And Michelle.
He's on a roll with it because he says it's got a lot of information for all of us, and he says it's really helpful because of how many, and to me too, like Elisa, when you said a lot come to Atlantis Scalar, that's true, because a lot that have had scalar work and then come to me for energy work, and that they're all earth angels. I can't tell you how many earth angels I've had over the past few days, and I know some of them are listening right now too. And we talked about them being an earth angel. But Erik also says that, you know, being an empath, being an empath can create a sense of vulnerability in us. And he says, so what happens is that higher frequency that we feel when we, as earth angels, as empaths, become extremely vulnerable or people take advantage. He said that then affects the self-esteem. And he says when self-esteem is affected, he goes, that is the core of the empath, because that confidence and that self-esteem, when that starts to plummet, he goes, that's connected to lack. So when we don't feel that confidence and love in ourselves, then we go to lack, because it all runs on the same vibration, because love in the heart and care for ourselves, boundaries for ourselves, that's all care and love for ourselves, that all runs in the same frequency as our financial abundance, as any kind of abundance. So he says that's a trap that many earth angels can fall into, and then can create this cycle of I can't get out of it, and it becomes heavier and heavier.
But so I think what earth angels need to realize is that vulnerability is a very, actually, you can choose to make it a low vibrational deal, but it doesn't have to be. Actually, vulnerability can be an angelic, pure, high vibrational status. I'm vulnerable. I have an open heart. not like I'm vulnerable and weak and people are going to beat up on me and everybody's energy is going to take me down. But no, vulnerability is beautiful. It is pure. It is divine. Actually, it's divine. It's part of your divine nature to be vulnerable. So you have to tweak your perspective and not say, well, I'm vulnerable, so I suck. But no, I'm vulnerable because I have the courage to open my heart and be me and own it. And that's what I want you guys to learn from this. It's so important because otherwise, if you take the other perspective, you're going to develop so much self-loathing, and that breeds disease. So, yeah, a lot of earth angels tend to have a lot of self-loathing. Is that what you're talking about, Erik?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he says that's right because he says that heaviness that can be created through people taking advantage of you or through just the life circumstances that one can go through. He goes, the other thing is, too, is that earth angels tend to be very affected by that lack of care that they see in other people because they don't understand people that don't think like them. Like it just doesn't come into the consciousness that somebody would think in a way that would be manipulative or painful towards another person. And so that can create
not belonging and feeling lonely because they're so different in their thought processes. Yes.
And that's so true. It's so true. Yeah. And he says, and so the other thing too is another lesson in this is he says, the earth angel is here to learn, where do you source power from? Where do you source your power from? Because the earth angel is connected so close to source. He says when the earth angel is aware and knows that they're sourcing from the greatest part of themselves. And he goes, Mom, you said it. When they're vulnerable, they're authentic. When they're sourcing from the greatest part of themselves, that is where they get their power. When they feel that they're sourcing from the approval of others, and that's where boundaries can become messy, that's where they can start to feel inadequate. He goes, then that's getting power from others' approval. And he says, and that creates lack. But when you source from the greatest part of yourself, your authenticity, he goes, that's powerful, and you're here to learn that.
Yeah, you earth angels are special. We're all special, of course, and we're all divine, but it's so close to source, and you have to be proud of yourself and accept that part of yourself that is divine. Now, a lot of people have said that they heard that earth angels, it's very difficult for them to have the Atlantic Scalar services work properly. Is that true? And if so, why? It could be, but why?
He says sometimes it can be because he says being in a cycle of lack, it can be a cycle in the mind.
Huh.
And he says that cycle in the mind can go to imbalance or to not being in the cycle of optimism, where the earth angel naturally runs from. It's a cycle of optimism. So he says it really helps that to understand, you're being told you're an earth angel and you may have been through many experiences that are hard to go through, but remember that you are not the mind. He says, remember that the mind is created by cycle. Those thoughts come by cycle. And so when you are going through a healing experience, opportunities are popping up to say to you, hey, you've got a choice here. Choose the optimistic route. And that takes work, he says, but it's all done within the mind. And he says, so if you're one that's having, say, a little more trouble with some of the work that's being done on you, remember you have power in where you focus those thoughts. And that's going to help you create a new cycle. And he goes, and then watch out, because that's where it really starts to take a role.
Yeah, because, thought creates reality. And, the intent script that I have is super powerful in the scalar field. But if you have thoughts of self-doubt and self-loathing that I am not worthy, then it's an uphill battle. It really is. So please think the best of yourself. Please know that you are so deserving of all good things of abundance of all sorts, not just financial abundance, but the abundance of health, the abundance of security, of safety, of calm, of joy, of happiness, of love, of self-love, all of it. You guys all deserve all of it.
Erik also says, too, he goes, and the other thing is, too, guys, he goes, you're being nudged here. You're being nudged to Atlantis Scalar. He goes, that's not by mistake. Because there is no coincidences. That is not by mistake. He goes, so take that full advantage. He says, this is all happening for you to make a huge change in your life, to really step into who you really are. He's like, take it for all it is, because it's a fantastic opportunity, and your guides, your angels, are nudging you to be there. So you're here. Take it. Take the opportunity.
Okay, so when I do when we do healing recommendations, oh my God, that takes forever. I swear to God, you guys don't even know what it takes. But it seems like the earth recommendations of healers, because that's part of it. Any healers recommendations like Michelle, Denise, etc. And it's almost always earth angels that he does that. Now, a lot of times he'll say, no healers, because he knows the person's not going to be open to it, or, that he's not going to go with it. Even though it would do a world of good for them, you can drag the horse to the water, but you can't make them drink. So is that true, that it seems like earth angels are the ones that you seem to be recommending to healers? Okay.
He says yes. That's right. And he says that's because earth angels are natural born healers. And he says, and the healing team with the scalar are also earth angels. And so he says what earth angels do best is healing themselves to then help heal others. And so it's a cycle. So the earth angels are being sent to earth angels, and earth angels are also very natural with energy work. And energy work with emotional traumas, removing traumas, helping raise their frequency to the next level. A lot of it, he says, is like putting emotional understanding and helping shift the rest of the energy to get them to the next level.
Can earth angels heal just by their existence, but being healed and regaining their source-like energetic frequency? Do they always have to do something to heal another person or the collective?
No, he says no. They don't have to, but he says the thing is that we always do work better together than we do alone. And even though our processes are very individual, sometimes very private and personal, he says there will always be a point along the path of a healer that will then reach out to others. And he says, and that's because we all have, as earth angels, we all have different parts of ourselves that complement others. So it gives a lift.
But so it's not like, okay, I'm an earth angel and I have to help humanity. So let me see, I'm going to do step 1, step 2, step 3. Sometimes it can be just your basic existence that will help heal the collective,
right? Definitely. He says, absolutely. Absolutely. He says,
I mean, no pressure.
Project Earth is, he says, earth angels, that their existence, and he says when they raise their frequency, they're raising the frequency of what they're connected to without even knowing.
Any advice for earth angels as a whole? I mean, first of all, they probably all need the portal work done, and I think a large number probably need the boost of self-love, but probably that's all they need, because a lot of times earth angels, they get depressed and whatever, but it's only because they need their self-love boosted and they need the portal work done. So they'll need to have the PTSD relief, the anxiety relief, all that stuff. So what, from Atlantis Scalar standpoint, because so many are driven here, what do you recommend at the very minimum for most earth angels? Not all, but most.
Well, at the very minimum, Erik says the portal work.
And
almost all of them.
And then wait and see, because sometimes that's all you need. Sometimes
and he says that's
that will
very
lift
true.
the depression, that will lift the sense of self-love, that will do so much. So I'm not trying to, be a bad businesswoman here, but I speak my truth, and I think that's very important for people to know that sometimes that's all you freaking need, okay?
Yeah.
So anyway,
that's right.
deal. You want to start taking some calls, or Erik, do you want to have? Is there any other advice you have for Earth Angels before we take callers?
The only thing he's just saying is he just says for Earth Angels, a really great way to help raise your vibration is using creativity, your creativity. He says a lot of times when Earth Angels become depressed or overwhelmed, they start to disconnect from creative outlets. And he says, even if you're not really feeling it, he goes, do something that connects to some piece of joy creatively, because he says that's going to start to make you feel better because it releases that suppressed energy. But he says, other than that, that's it. He goes, let's take some callers.
All right, let's do. Now, I will want to stop and pause because I want y'all to get a pen and paper, pencil and paper, whatever, to write down Michelle Gray's contact information, which is thehealingh-art.com. Of course, it will be in the description box. But also, I really want you guys to please like this YouTube, please subscribe, and please hit the notification button and also share. You know, one of the big reasons is because we give giveaways, free giveaways, especially during our YouTube lives, and you don't want to miss that. So, because you know, Michelle, Courtney, me, and the other people on our team, we're here to help. Okay, that's the only reason we are here doing what we do, which is not easy. Okay, it's not easy. And I told one person today that, you know, she was so flabbergasted that I was going to spend a lot of energy to help her. And I said, what do you think I'm doing this for? Okay, I'm doing this because I love you and I love humanity, and because I don't want Erik's death to be a tragic waste. Okay, that's why I do it. And you know, and everybody has their own different reason for doing it, but that's mine. And it's authentic. And I want you to believe, guys, that you are deserving of love and help. So please open your heart to receiving that love and help. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's get started. All right, first one, 515 area code. Hi there. How you doing? Hello. How you doing? Welcome to the show. 501 area code. How you doing? What's your first name and what town you calling from?
Are you saying 551?
Yes.
I thought you said 501. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's
my name's Gemma.
Oh, it's my Texas drawl. But it's you, girl. What you got?
I'm from northern New Jersey. My name is Gemma.
Hi, Gemma. How can we help
you?
Hi.
I was actually calling for the first time last week, but I had forgotten to press 1, and I was talking into the phone while you guys were saying my area code.
Oh no! Oh God,
you are here now, girl. You're larger than charge.
I'm a YouTube creator as well, and one of my subscribers who I became very good friends with, we're both psychic, and she knew that I was going through a lot, and she said to call you guys. Coming into psychic, I just wrote my first book. 5 years ago, I was a hopeless heroin addict, and now I'm a published author. But I'm going through. I'm dealing with all of this psychic energy coming in, and it's a little scary. I was taught as I was little to always hide it, but there's one person that I'm just not getting, and it hurts me because it's the only person I've ever known my entire life who's passed away, and I don't know why he's not with me. So
well,
I asked my friend.
What's the name of your book? And I think maybe your story would be you would make a great guest on the radio show. So if you're interested, you can email.
I would be honored. My channel is called Gemma Jade. I cover paranormal activity, but my book is called Missing the Fae Theory, and it's about the missing people in the woods and the connection with the Fae, the fairies.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. Okay. emedhus@gmail.com. Email me if you want to be a guest on the show. And, of course, Michelle's the boss on this, so she decides.
Yeah, Gemma, message so we can set you up on the radio show, because Erik says that you are a fantastic guest to have on the show. So please message me.
I definitely will. Thank you so much.
Well, let's take care of your needs right now. What are your needs?
What's the name? What's the name of it? Is this somebody that was you were in a relationship with at one time?
I'm not really. I mean, it was a friendship. It was a little bit more, but I called him my godfather. He was my best friend.
Of course,
I've never met anyone like him. I've never met anyone who I think loved me at all, let alone loved me so much. And he died right before I got clean, and we never got to see it. And I just don't feel him. I feel everybody else. My abusive ex-boyfriend's here all the time, picking on my son, and all
I will tell you this.
Through crime cases I covered.
I will tell you this from my experience, sweetie, is that, everything is physics, right? And there's the electromagnetic spectrum. And when we are really grief-stricken, then, there's this tiny sliver on the electromagnetic spectrum, the visible range. And when we get depressed, when we get grief-stricken, we go all the way down to the bottom. And that's why we say, I'm so depressed, I feel low. It's because our actual energetic frequency is vibrating at a super low level. And that makes it very difficult for spirit who vibrate at a much higher frequency to get down to meet us halfway. But go ahead, Erik. What do you have to say?
Well, you explained it perfectly, he says, but he wants to tell you to have some patience. Just hold on, because he's going to come through to you. And there's some reason why, and he says more than what we can get into on the show of why it's taking a little bit of time, but he says you're going to connect with him. He's around you. And he says, and the thing is just like Mama said, he says, it's when you have that desire and sometimes you miss it, or you don't realize that it's there because of the energy, because of the difference in the frequency.
I'm looking so hard.
Yes.
Expectation is a very dense energy. Expectation is super dense.
He says this is going to help you, because he says by us saying this, because he goes, remember, this is going to go into your subconscious, and this is the truth, letting you know that he's there and you are going to connect with him. You've got nothing to worry about. He goes, everything that's happening right now is a process. It's a process, and you're balancing your energy right now too. He said ground your energy and work on not length of meditation, but consistency of it, of just sitting and relaxing your energy every day. And he says, don't worry about it, because he's coming. He's coming, and he's quite connected to you.
And there's
really
all sorts of blog, in the Erik blog, there's all sorts of, art in the archives, posts that will help you. Like, I think there's one called The Science of Survival. There's one called The Break from Being Human. There's others that will help you find practical ways to raise your energetic frequency so that it's not so hard for him to meet you in the middle. All right. So, but anyway, contact us, because it'd be cool to have you as a guest on the show.
Yes, please, Gemma.
I would be honored. I'll do it right away as soon as I finish listening to the show.
Cool.
All right,
awesome.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Gemma.
Wow, cool. All right. All right. So the ball is rolling. All right, we got the 416 area code. Hi there. How you doing? Hi there.
Hello.
416 area code. What's your name?
Can you hear me?
Where are you calling from?
This is Kate from Ontario, Canada.
Hey.
Oh.
Canada.
Hi, Michelle. Hi, Elisa. Yes.
Are you guys close? Because Michelle's in London.
I'm in Toronto. So 2 hours
we're
away.
Very close. We're just a highway away from each other, just the other end of the 401.
Yeah, 2 hours, I think.
Yes.
Yes. Cool. So thanks for taking my call. I actually have two questions and a book recommendation for Earth Angels. So I've had some Atlantis work, scalar work done. I've also participated in your YouTube live sessions, and I've learned that I'm an Earth Angel. Erik is one of my two guides, and that he and I had a past life together as brothers.
Oh my God, that's really interesting, because you know what, Erik?
What?
I mean, there's like 3 or 4 people that I've done healing recs on that Erik says that he is also their guardian angel, and it never happens unless he has had lives with them. So you are one of the very few, like the 4 people, I think, really. 4 or 5 maybe. All right, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I have two brothers too. So my first question is regarding you, Elisa. The first time you emailed me back regarding some scalar energy work, I felt overwhelmed with emotion, like I was bawling, crying. I don't know why. And I'm just wondering if it's simply because I have admiration for you as a supreme human being, or
oh my gosh.
or if because you're also an earth angel, or
holy crap. It could be that we're both earth angels, but you know what? You need to talk to my family because they will categorize all my flaws. I think what you're picking up on is my love for you. I mean, I really do feel love for people who I'm trying to help, and when I'm in the scalar field, sending that love energy, I sob. I mean, I break down. It's just so strong. And it's really hard for this little human old body to handle. But I think that, well, Erik, you tell us. I don't know. What do I know?
I'm curious if we've had a past life together.
Ooh, okay.
I wonder if
Erik has to do with me.
Yes,
but
you have.
Erik? Yeah. Uh-huh.
He says, yes, you have. And he says, so this follows up exactly what he was just saying, because he says what you felt was authenticity, is you felt truth.
Okay.
And so he says, that's part of your ability as well, as when you have truth, when you have authenticity, and the two of you connected in the scalar field, and that authenticity was felt. That information was felt.
Meter.
Because that's true.
You got a good bullshit meter.
You do.
That's true.
You do.
I was an auditor for a long time. That helped. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting. So what kind of relationship do we have in the most recent life together?
He says that you were as close as sisters. You weren't actually sisters in this lifetime, but you were raised together. So you weren't.
Wow.
He's talking about being misplaced from your families. So being in a situation where the two of you were without parents. Like an orphanage type location, like something where you were raised together as a family, but without a blood relation or without parents. So he says a bond was created. Yeah.
Oh my God, that's so cool, sister. Cool. So Erik was my brother, and you were my sister.
Wow.
Yes, exactly.
I'm wondering, can I ask this? Do Earth Angels, Erik, have this very strong drive to seek out authenticity?
Yes.
Okay. I think I got to me, because I wouldn't have thought of something so brilliant on my own.
And he says, in your words, Mom, they have awesome bullshit meters.
All right. Good.
Cool.
All right. Because I think I
have another quick question. Well, it's not that quick, but there's a woman who has a personal blog. She doesn't live too far away from me. We have a lot in common. I was drawn to her blog. I felt compelled as an earth angel to provide her positive encouragement and inspiration, because a lot of people in my life, I feel drawn to do that. For the last 5 months, we've been emailing each other back and forth about her blog. I've given her confidence and inspiration. I've told her about channeling Erik. She's been on the blog. She said Erik has communicated to her, given her some guidance for her blog.
Wow.
It's a very one-sided relationship, because I'm always giving her it's not a friendship. I give her encouragement, but I don't really get much back. And after 5 months, I feel it's time for me to move on, except I feel a lot of guilt. And today she actually posted a poem that she's written about relationships coming to an end and shedding tears. And I'm wondering if Erik has any input, because he's communicated with her, if this is the right thing for me to do.
Well, maybe you were in her life for a brief period of time, because you're supposed to be a teacher. And let me tell you, when we're talking about loneliness, starseeds, earth angels, and teachers very often feel kind of lonely, because in the case of teachers, students come in and out of their lives. And I bet you anything that's what's going on here. That you taught the lesson, and it's time to move on. Erik, what?
Yeah, he's agreeing. He's just saying that he says, it's like he says you could think of other times in your life where you felt that connection, almost like a sense of passion, a sense of wanting to help, and you'd connection get really strong, and then something would take place to almost pull you back or make you feel weirded out in some circumstance or something.
Like I don't trust this person?
Yes. And he says that part of that is the whole, it's time to step the other direction. And he says, that's exactly what this is. And he's like, no harm, no foul, nothing done wrong.
The contract is honored.
Don't take on the guilt. No, nothing to be guilty.
The contract is honored. Be grateful for what you got out of it, and be happy for what you got out of it.
That's right.
Okay, yeah, because I find as an Earth Angel, while I'm with the person, it's like I'm planting a seed, and when I step away from them, that's when I see change happen.
Yep.
I've inspired them to want to be different, but it happens once I'm gone.
Yep.
Oh, wow, that's so
cool. Take that as a gift. Because he goes, there's always something. Everything has an exchange. Even if that person's not giving you something through words, there's always an exchange. So he says, examine what you feel you got out of it and be really honest with yourself, and you'll see that, and that'll take away any feelings of guilt.
Okay, so I'm supposed to walk away.
Yeah.
Yes. All right, I'm going to move on to the next caller, but I think this is going to ring true to a lot of Earth Angels on this call. And, Michelle, I don't know about you, but I think, of course, we have plenty of time to take other callers, but I think we need to have a round 2 for Earth Angels. I mean, of course. We did our groundwork explaining about Earth Angels, et cetera, and maybe the next one we could just take calls with a tiny intro. But also, I also want to ask you guys if you are willing to have those who have been abducted by aliens reach out. That could be cool. But anyway, we'll go ahead and take the next caller.
Send me messages, guys. If you've been abducted by aliens and you've got those, send me messages and let's get you on the show and dedicate a show to it.
Yeah, but Earth Angels Part 2 and then abductees. All right, 951 area code. Hi there, how you doing?
Hi, how are you?
We're fine. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
What can we do for you? Well, what's your first name and where are you calling from, and what can we do for you?
My name is Donna, and calling from Riverside, California.
Hi, Donna.
Hi, Donna.
Hi. So kind of like the previous caller, I've done some scalar work, and I was told that Erik is one of my guardian angels, and that we shared a past life together.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Well, you know you two were nudged here, right? Because, I mean, there are 4 or 5 of you. So that's pretty cool. A nudge is strong. May the force be with you.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
I also feel a real strong connection to Elisa. I get kind of emotional also when I hear your voice.
Donna, is your last name starting with a D?
No, C like cat.
Oh, I know you. I can't say on the
Yeah.
All right. Oh, I feel a big connection to you too. Did we have another life together, Erik?
Yes.
What was?
Yes, you definitely did. Yeah, I'm going to tell you, and this is absolutely crazy because I just had to ask him twice to make sure I got this correct.
Oh, God.
And so, okay. So he's showing me this is the very same lifetime as the caller that we just had. The very same lifetime. And he's actually showing parts of this is like it's children. You were children together. Because he shows having a lot of fun. Regardless of the circumstance. It's like I got another glimpse of a different corner of the same lifetime. And there's a family connection. Erik
Donna,
is also in this
orphan? What are you saying, Erik? I don't get it.
He says yes, orphanage. And he's
boards, people. Abby, Denise, Pastor Boards, thank you for the prayers. Yay! You just texted me. All right, I'm so sorry. Go ahead. I'm so happy for her.
Yes, orphanage. Erik was in this lifetime too.
Wow, that's cool. Okay, that's pretty cool. I'm glad you called in, my sister.
I'm sorry. So we were all in this orphanage together?
Yes. Children. You were smaller children, going in around 3 or 4 years old, and he shows being raised there.
Mm.
You didn't. It's not like, and this is back like 1800s. late 1800s.
Wow.
It's old. I see everything in black and white, which is what he shows me when he's showing me something in certain time frames. But he says that this is like a family connection. He says family doesn't always happen in the traditional ways that we would think. He says there's a family connection. And he's also saying that there are others that are on this call that have experienced part of this lifetime as well.
Wow, interesting. Well, thanks for calling in, Donna, okay? I know who you are, and I love you.
Oh, thank you, Elisa. Thank you guys so much.
Thanks, Donna.
Okay.
Well, we're sisters. Man, God, I'm in good company, man. I'm in fucking good company.
That's cool.
Oh, all right. 614 area code. Hi there, how you doing? Oh, actually, it's a whole bunch of numbers, much more than the usual number. 614-144. I won't say the rest. Hi there. How you doing?
Oh, hello.
Hi. How are you?
Hi. Yeah, good. I wasn't sure I was going to get through.
You are through, girl. What's your first name and where are you calling from?
It's my name's Danica. I'm calling from Australia.
Oh, I know you, Danica H. I know you. And
Yes.
I love you deeply. And what would you like to have help with, babe?
I just wanted to see if Erik had a message for me. I don't like to talk about too much personal stuff, but I just figured he would sort of know what to say. I've been listening closely, so I got so surprised that I came through because I was just in my kitchen chopping celery. I didn't actually think that I would get through, so it's really kind of caught me off guard. But yeah, I just wanted to connect with Erik.
It's by divine reason. So, Erik, how can you help my sweetie, Danica?
Erik's giving winky faces, like wink, wink, wink. He's winking at you. He just says,
what's the wink for?
Cute.
Flirtation.
He thinks she's cute.
Oh, I knew it.
He thinks she's adorable.
What a flirt.
Are you blonde? Are you blonde by chance?
Yes.
Oh my God, Erik. Oh my God, Erik. God, you're a flirt. Oh.
He says he wants to let you know that he says you're manifesting deeper communication with spirit. So, because he's saying we're hearing you, and he's talking about being further open, and he's saying that it's something that you're manifesting, so what you're asking for. So I don't know if you're trying to communicate more or you're saying, like, I want to communicate more, because he says that that's what's happening. He's just affirming that that's happening.
Okay.
What do you want?
Because everything that you've been talking about, well, it's just what you were talking about in the intro makes perfect sense to me about sort of being lost and going through hardships. And it's like, I feel like for me personally, I've put in so much work and for my own personal spiritual work, and you know, I've got the Atlanta scalar work done, and it's like,
are you an Earth Angel? Erik, is she an Earth Angel? I'm sorry.
Yes, you did tell me
once.
Yes. Oh, Elisa, yes. You told me in an email I was. Yeah.
Yeah,
Elisa, you did tell me that. But yeah, I just feel like sometimes a lot of things don't come into fruition. I feel like I'm just sort of treading water, and it's like struggling for me. It's just like, I feel like everything is around me and within reach, but it's just not kind of like coming into my life. And I feel like I'm swimming upstream all the time.
Yeah, and maybe it's all about perspective, to realizing that you should open yourself up to receiving that you deserve, which is everything. But Erik, I don't know what the shit I'm talking about. Go ahead.
He said that that's true. And he goes, I'm going to deepen that a little bit more. And he says, there's a part of you from childhood inside that doesn't feel you're deserving. And he said that inner child, and he says, affirm that child, whatever you've been through your life. And he keeps pointing to childhood. And he says, affirm that part of you as being open to receive. He says, because that feeling of everything's right around you, it is. And he says, so it's in the energetic wings, so to speak. He says, ready to drop into your physical. That's why he's talking about manifestation, communication, more flow.
I just feel like something is so close that very little has to be done to jump that hurdle, man. I mean, I feel it. Does she need inner child work?
Mm-hmm.
So, with whom?
He says it's actually, he says she doesn't have to do that. He says there's a lot of energy work that's been done. He says this is really about flipping perspective. And he says, and just saying, I know it's coming. I might not know when or exactly how things are coming, but affirming that everything is coming and each day gets better and better. He goes, you're affirming something that's energetically already taken place. You've already manifested it. Now you just have to allow it to come in.
Yeah, and I think that's the truth for so many earth angels. Just open yourself up and realize how divine you are, and just surrender to the universe to give you what you deserve, and that's everything, really, everything you want.
I think also what you were describing earlier about, being a different vibrational frequency, and I think a lot of people take advantage of that as well too.
Yeah.
So that can affect your mindset, how you were describing how we think differently. And I find I get hurt by so many people because I'm like, you dish out so much love and you get like nothing back, or it's not reciprocated in the same way. It's sort of even give and take, and you feel taken advantage of.
You can't expect anything. We earth angels, and I feel the same thing because I have a hard time receiving a lot. It's very hard, and that's why certain things with the Atlantis Scalar have not worked for me. Most of it has, the things I've done on myself, but some I'm held back by the fact that I can't receive love very easily. And earth angels have to realize that they are deserving of love, and that you cannot give love and expect anything in return. You have to know it's going to come back to you. You have to know, not expect, because there's dense energy. You have to know that it's going to come back to you. And you have to feel like you're already there. You have to know that I already have abundance of everything I want. And you have to perceive it with every single sense and then some. You have to live life as if you already have that love and abundance. And that is so hard because it's real easy to intellectualize that, but it's really hard to live it like it's really true, because it is true. But I feel you, because I go through the same thing myself. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Eric's just adding, but the part about the child part too is he just says, that's pain. He says when you feel like other people, he says you get treated like crap and hurt. And he says, and that's part of that protection. They created that protection for yourself. And he says, and he wants you to look at the experiences that have taken place that have caused you pain of how other people have treated you. He says a lot of that, he goes, that's not you, and that's not your fault. And he says, and start to look at the reasons why these people act in this way that's not connected to you. Because he says it's a little bit of a perspective flip. If you want to email me, I can give you a little more detail on it. Good. There's a couple things he's saying to me that'll give us a couple more minutes because it's hard to get on, talk about it on the show. But if you want to email me, and we can talk a little bit further through email about it, okay?
Okay.
Email me.
Like that.
Email me, because you might not know her email address, and I'll forward it to her. Okay, but that.
Okay, I've actually got a session booked with Michelle in December that I booked a little while ago. So I'm excited to have that. But I will email you if that's
awesome.
okay.
Yeah,
email
absolutely.
too. All right.
Awesome.
Yeah, so you Earth Angels,
okay, thank you.
Please receive love, please. Just know that you deserve love. I fight that whole thing myself, okay? I am so flawed, and I have so much to learn, so I'm not getting on this soapbox and this ivory tower and saying this. I'm in the foxholes too, and I, of course, as many of you know, had a very difficult lifetime as a child. We're talking about abuse that was broken bones type stuff. But the only way I was able to get out of that was a shift in perspective. Okay? And it's all about perspective. It's like, wow, I'm so grateful for that because I learned so much from that. I learned how to be compassionate and assertive and all that stuff. So, yeah, it's super important that you guys know the perspective is everything, energetically speaking. All right, we have somebody from the 111111111 area code. Hi, how are you doing? Are you there? 111 area code? Must be a Skype call. Hi there.
Hello.
Oh, goody. There you are. We don't have very much time, but how can we help you? What is your name and first name, and where are you calling from?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So yes, my name is Andrea. I'm calling from Virginia. I got some portal work with you, and we got some communications over email. I have a question. To Erik. Am I an angel, like Earth angel? And the second question is, I'm going through the turmoil on my life. I'm rediscovering myself and my life purpose. Any advice from Erik on this?
So is it Earth angel or what advice do you have? We don't have very much time, mind you, but Erik, give him what you can, sweetie.
Erik said yes. He says you are an Earth angel. You absolutely are. He says that what's happening with you right now is energetically you're putting pieces back together. So he says, and this looks like physically in your life, it's creating more trust in yourself and in some of the circumstances that you have. He says we could also say that this is like your way of coming back home to yourself. And so he says this next 6 months is going to be very, the best word he said is fruitful. It said hard work. It's hard work. But he says you have everything within you to do this. He says trust yourself and trust the guidance that you're getting. You're being guided through your angels, and Erik says you can call on me anytime.
That's awesome.
I do. Are you on my are you my guide? One of my guides, Erik?
Yes, he certainly is. You've already asked him. He says he's like,
okay.
Yeah, I heard it. He goes, I hear you.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Okay, we're gonna have to close the show, people, but we're gonna have Earth Angels Part 2 whenever Michelle, my boss, wants to do that. And you guys check her out at thehealing-arts.com. And please subscribe, hit the notification button, and well, it's not that important, I guess, but like this YouTube, but mainly share, because we are all whole and part of God. We're all one. And so please share to help others. And don't forget that we will have the YouTube Lives that you can ask more questions. All right. I love you guys. I love you, Michelle. I love you, Erik.
Love you, Lisa. Erik says, love you, Mom. Erik says, love you, everybody. And I do, too. Good night, everybody.
Feel better, Michelle. And congrats
Thank
to
you.
Abby.